Hey there YouTube, it's Phantasmanite. We'll be continuing Disco Elysium, and I just found out that I could internalize 3 of these thoughts. I thought I had to finish this one first. 16 minutes left. But no, this one, which has had 5 hours, I could have been working on this, and this 30-minute one, which I need to take down the body, apparently. Great. Got a lot of minus, wait, base IQ plus 2. Oh wow, my Toto's minus 1. Oh man, authority sucks. Oh well, I could still succeed on a nat 12, right? Okay, we're inside this building. Let's go check all this stuff out. Dewey typewriter. Maybe we find stuff to loot in here. Coffee machine. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Okay, let's read a book, I guess. The leading intellectual organ of Martinized communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Friso with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Are antlers a good thing?
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait
Guess
of
not.
the late King Friso. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Yes, but white antlers.
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
Huh. Why Friso?
Because Friso was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Not really seeing it, but okay. Slip through the pages.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents.
Alright.
The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
I don't know what Kunst is, but I'm pretty sure the other word's supposed to be culture, just pronounced a little differently.
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Ah.
Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you.
So Walder is German, I'm assuming? Just looking at the way they wrote and. Not that I would know.
As you leaf through this section,
Also, the
you come
way
across
that the W is
several
pronounced like a
reviews
B.
of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Counter-Strike. Computer science.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tourney, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tourney is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Quadrennially, so every 4 years? Is that right? Or is it? I don't know. Centennial means every century, right? So every 100 years. So is this every 4 years? Is it every 40 years? I should look this word up later. Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
You know, that makes a whole lot of sense, Midoro. Also, hi. Thanks for stopping by.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
Okay.
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Oh boy.
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Uh-huh.
So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
What do they mean?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
There were real people out there with some unusual names. What's bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
Now, I'm not going to deny that there are problems with capitalism, but there's a lot of people out there who
Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a frita.
I mean, sure, why not? But yeah, it seems like at least in my opinion, a lot of the people who push for communism don't seem to realize how hard it is to do it effectively. Now, all the problems that happens when you actually try to implement it. Although, again, not saying capitalism is perfect. Far from it.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Humanity in a nutshell, right? Violence. Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tourney for the races.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
What would a large grain of salt be? Wouldn't that just be a salt crystal?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's just skip through this real fast.
This section includes
a long,
a
tedious critique.
You also skip over an
Heavy
article
fuel
about
oil
heavy fuel
smuggling.
oils. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Bear wrestling.
Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Alright, let's see what this bear wrestling is about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara.
So Samara
SRV,
is China.
Devised and promoted by none other than President Kaczynski himself.
Or not. This does not look like a Chinese name to me.
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Okay, let's see. Breakthrough imminent. What does this mean? Breakthrough imminent. Guess I'll have to check this out after I finish this conversation. Oh, also Maduro, I actually looked it up while the game was reading it. Quadrennial actually does mean every 4 years, which makes sense. Imagine a competition that only happens every 25 years. Gotta be a seriously big competition. When it says bear wrestling, does that mean 2 bears are wrestling each other, or...?
Of course not. The article makes plain that this is man on bear, or in some cases, woman on bear competition. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
Don't underestimate bears. They are big, they are heavy, and all that weight is just sheer muscle. They can get through your car door to get your food. They could get through you to just get you out of the way.
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
Great.
This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Cherte.
I guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're drunk. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
Precisely.
But
For too long,
there were
drink
bits that
has been a
echo China to me,
scourge
I think.
to the working class. And President Kaczynski is deeply committed to supplying the people with more wholesome entertainments.
One thing I'm curious about is they use the phrase People's Republic. Does Russia use that? Or any of its previous incarnations? Plus further, or plus furthermore, or that racist mug that we have. I can't seem to access my info right now, but it showed a Sumerian person, and it showed one of those cone-shaped bamboo hats that you only see in Asia. So, anyway, let's see. Always good to catch up on foreign
You
affairs.
flip back to the front of the
Read the editor's
comrade.
note.
As you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism.
Huh.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
I can't believe they made that far. Yeah, just wondering because that precise wording, that they actually call it the People's Republic of insert country name here, and the fact that that racist mug had what seemed like an Asian farmer on it.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs,
Kim,
please
I think
consider
this is a
subscribing
communist
today.
magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with
Unqualified
articles
support
that
for
you
the
skim the headlines.
dock worker strike.
Paint the harbor red and white.
What a blue.
Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin,
George R.R.
accusing
Martin.
the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. I only say this because I'm apparently in debt.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists, it's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place. You flip back to the front of the...
Okay, well that was a big waste of time. Racist mug. Some kind of Asian farmer there. Okay, let's see. And then, what are we doing here?
Lonesome, long way home.
Alright. Oh, that looks...
Here we go.
That looks
Home
crazy.
awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then, past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
I no longer live there, but is there anything left there? Like, for example, 100 real? Oh, such an image. He's turned to sludge. And so is the Commodore Red, apparently.
Volumetric ship compressor.
If I find Kavlan in
Bizarre
this game...
scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars. not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit's singularity lasts.
I got my crap together. All endurance white checks unlock. Learning cap for endurance is raised to 4. Neat. I didn't see what the other one was. Basically, that means I get one more try. And I could put a skill point in it if necessary. What bonus did I get for this? Dang, I don't know what bonus I got for this. Oh, wait, no, it says right here. Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Speed gives 1 psyche? Excuse me? Speed as in like a drug or... Oh, we don't have a speed stat, do we? Man, that -1 authority. Hmm. Oh, so fun fact, chat.
On
Earlier,
second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
right. The game's gonna keep talking with this excellent voice acting. So if I talk about random thoughts, it'll be when I'm wandering around.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Yeah, someone might steal it.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Well, I guess I better flip through this, make sure no one's going to steal any important information.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara.
I wonder if I'm supposed to be able to figure out what all these countries correlate to in the real world. Like in a fantasy setting, if someone says Albion, that's that's Great Britain. I think that's an old name for it actually, but I think that's the name of the world, or maybe just the country in Fable.
And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Dang, you're handy to have around, my friend. Mundi sounds Latin, Grad sounds Slavic.
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Yep, this is the kind of thing that put me to sleep. Force yourself to
Whatever's hidden
focus.
here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears
Yeah,
to
let's
be
look at
a
it.
to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters.
Bad handwriting, or...
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Well, I guess I better find his shoes and put them on, and hopefully they don't decrease my, what's that stat again? What was that stat? Savoir-faire.
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look him, a to-do note with a list of errands for Everard, whoever this is.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Take another look.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes.
Special
All
warning
items
borscht.
on the list. The drawer slides.
Might have to pay attention to that for later. Let's see what we got to loot here. Ah, crap. A postcard. Can I sell these postcards? Do I collect them or something? It has a price on it. This laminate postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, their eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residents. Someone's parked a small beach airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Or 34 pennies, maybe? I don't think a borscht is a sausage, but I don't remember what exactly it is. More drugs. I need more stuff for physical health, not morale. My morale is always high. Except in real life. Visual calculus, -1 drama. How's my drama and how's my calculus? Visual calculus like 4. Drama is like 4. Lie and detect lies. Ooh, that's gonna be useful. What's visual calculus though? Reconstruct crime scenes. Okay, both these are real nice to have. Kinda like the idea of slapping on some sunglasses. This outfit is a mess though. This outfit's a mess. Now I'm gonna be talking to someone in the workers' union soon. Maybe I'll put on those glasses if I go back to the crime scene with all the footprints. I don't know if it'll give me that chance though, most likely not. Radio strange building sound. Giant butt print on the pillow and pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Coffee rings. Telephone?
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
I would, but I'm in desperate need of money. And plus I'm not sure what this will accomplish, unless it gives me like a record of the last call number. I know like Kim's phone has like favorites, or has a special number saved in there or something like that. A contact list. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. Right, let's see. Can't seem to easily get down there. Right, there was a door there. I don't know if I could have gone there because I started running all the way around and I'm like, nope, this is taking too much time, and ran back. Wait, I didn't see what that said. Do I have a chat log I can click on? Let's see. Heh. I was just looking at the shirt again. I was like, that's a nice shirt. No, wait, it's got stains on it. And it's the one with the unsavory odor. I think that's why I always worry about with, well, not always worry about, but that would draw my attention even if I'm being a bum. White pine trees printed on the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. Which way am I supposed to go? There seems to be 2 directions. Oh, look. Measureheads, groupies. I'm just slowly walking over there? Wait, what is this?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
You know, I was just taking a random guess, and the words kind of look like the words march and arrest. So march would be like keep going or go forward, and arrest would be to stop or stop someone, or in this case something.
Marsh.
Oh.
On. Arrête. Off.
We'll push buttons in a moment. Why is he walking slowly? I'm slightly concerned. Money! Drugs. Sounds like a glass jar banging or something, though. You know, I'm gonna go back down there. Just in case. This almost looks like there's more stuff to do. Maybe this is actually a dead end. Whale Forge. No, Forjord? I actually don't know how to read that word. I know I've heard it pronounced before, but I don't actually know how to read it. Fjord. Lots of stuff here. 3 packs of cigarettes, buds, Commodore Red, Potent Pilser. Actually, this looks like a way to go. There's a lot of stuff here.
This
Fjord.
is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
I forgot who Renee is. Search the booth.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Why would I take it? Can I just examine it?
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Was Renee one of the old men playing with what look like little steel balls in the crater?
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about it.
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure. As long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
More like I want to examine the picture, but I only got the chance to leave it alone or take it. Have a seat,
The
rest.
chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Search for a little something something to help you out.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Read the side effects.
Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, Prophet's disease,
Prophet's disease. What?
sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to La Opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
I mean, I'm glad they're being honest about it, but who would take something like this?
Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else.
Disco, mirror balls, kick-ass moves, boogie beat. I don't see what the big deal is. This sounds pretty normal to me.
The imagined dazzle of light overwhelms any list of potential side effects. Any negative thoughts are drowned out by the fantastic blast of disco.
Okay, let's get up.
You stand and exit.
Autosave. What is this?
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Must have been an advanced scouting mission in the harbor. Looks like I had a lot of fun.
It really, really doesn't. Let's turn our attention elsewhere and move on.
Can I click on any of this other stuff? Huh, I could click on it, but I can't get to it. Fascinating. You know, you're absolutely right. Kim puts up with a lot of crap from me. Time to start pushing buttons. Wonder if I'll accidentally bonk Measurehead
Marsh.
on.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Great. And then imminent collapse. Looks like a platform's moving into place. I don't know how to climb up this thing though. Creak, grind, stuff.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps
Good thing it's
as
quiet.
the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Purpose? What do you mean?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
If I press stop or off, surely it won't go back to normal.
The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all.
Good. Oh, I can open it. Is there something over here? There's indeed stuff over here, including money, I see. But let's open the container first.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
It was hanging from the crane.
You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container.
But it was hanging from the crane.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
Open the door.
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Knock on the door.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container.
Persuade the door to open. Even at 6 in rhetoric, it would still only be a 30% chance.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Am I wearing my door persuasion clothes? I don't think so. Because getting physical wasn't an option. That's literally why.
Because what wasn't an option?
The lieutenant looks startled. Using my body over my wits.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
Nothing more for now. Do I have door persuasion clothes? I do not have door persuasion clothes. Oh, right. So right before the recording, the loading screen, actually the loading screen, said that if I want to do something without Kim's attention, I should do it when he's asleep, after hours. And I'm like, what? Shipyard is oddly quiet. Great machines are sleeping. Money! And boxes. Money! And boxes. Ooh. Fancy gloves. Let's see, interfacing and half-light. I forget what half-light is. For ultimate performance efficiency, these Fawn Ultra Series gloves come fingerless and with a grippy padding covering the palms, making these ideal for quadrupedal movement or for lifting cargo. Quadrupedal movement. Alright. Unfiltered contact. Half-light. Threaten people. So I want my fingers exposed when I threaten people. Why? Do I have a bad touch or something? Visions of pawning ahead? Maybe. Definitely don't want to be wearing fawn pants. Exert to someone. Soon, oh soon, the green is gone and everything is red. It's a box, it's a flag. You know, for some reason I just assumed that if I had the 100 real, I'd just be able to keep on staying. So the 100 real was for the past 3 days, right? And for the past 2 days plus the broken window. I should probably talk to the other dude. Stair made of pallets, huh? Talk.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red.
Container, put the logos on. I can't sing.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi.
What is
from the
Ubi?
vanishing
Soft.
peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Hi.
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
I want to ask about the special borscht, the whirling borscht.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is with you people in
I
scabs?
mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
I don't even know what Ubi. What's the container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Container, container.
Told you.
What you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on here? Look at the mountains of containers rising behind him.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Wow, red is so much prettier than drab old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really
Leo looks around
livens up
merrily.
the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Sometimes they give me a pause to read those, other times they just go straight into the next line.
I hate to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Hey there. Should I call you Hollow or should I call you Queen? I think I've seen you referred to as Hollow before. Oh, some people feel weirded out if I call them by the first word in their name because it's usually an adjective. Still, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. How is your weekend anyway? You don't tell me the weather's good. I mean, the weather is pretty nice around here. Okay, what do I... Banners, sure. I want to ask him about the note, but, it's the only option I see.
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
The little guy chuckles merrily. Well, Hollow, I'm not gonna use the B word because at least on stream I'm trying to swear less. It still slips out sometimes. Especially in some of those moments in Hunt. You know which ones I'm talking about. Weather's hot, huh? Thankfully it hasn't been too bad here, although I actually have started opening my window. Right now there's a bit of a breeze going on outside. So, weather is actually pretty nice where I am. Might also be the area I live in. This place has got to be expensive for a reason.
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Hold up, who makes it like the whirling? And, oh, they side quests. Yeah, I haven't played Hunt yet this morning. I know some of my friends were playing, including Medoro here. My brother was telling me about how he approached a door and got wall banged with a shotgun. One of those moments. Who makes like the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. They
Ah,
was
the guy who
always
doesn't
talking
talk.
with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Let's look into the borscht.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Just, you know, seasoned with some herbs, a little weed.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Let's ask for this.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr.
coughs and
Everard and
continues
Mr.
immediately.
Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Huh, what happened to Mr. Edgar?
Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course.
I don't know why I'm asking if he's Ubi, but let's ask if he's Ubi.
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave
might be
my
right.
dad after
He
got
might be
on the
Irish.
island. took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Honestly, I keep hearing Ubi, and I'm like, Ubisoft. They make games.
Thank
That's
you
where my
for
brain goes, of course.
clarifying that, sir.
Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
I am not completely sure. You know, that might kind of make sense. Although, I mean, the French did come over, right? I don't know, like, who's in control of how much here. Is it possible we're in Canada? I know us Americans tend to be pretty ignorant about foreign affairs, but I mean, there's a lot of French speakers in Canada, right? I think we did get some support from the French back during the whole Revolutionary War, so... Big dude. Let's go loot the swordfish. Can we loot the swordfish? Taxidermy fish that tells time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk.
That
He
expression.
looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Louisiana. Oh, right. That fits with some of the stuff I was reading. Did tiny bit of reading on Louisiana because of Hunt Showdown. Just a tiny bit.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Are those brown spots his eyes? That one's looking off to the side, looks like.
With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Be careful the boss, got it. I got my healing, I'm good, I'm kidding. He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk. If it's a tiny chair, and it's his own... No, I see 2 chairs. I was like, are we gonna have to share this chair? One butt cheek on the chair person?
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
Man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
Can I equip it?
You go ahead, detective.
Nods like me, then like the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Probably because it has something to do with his past, and let's not give it the impression that we don't know who we are. Well, I'm glad you're here now, Reddit. Welcome, welcome. How's your weekend been? Mostly chores, or anything good happen? We are apparently going into a, quote, boss fight, if what Midoro says is any indication. But it seems like I'm only going to be taking emotional damage. Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Man, do I have my hands in my lap? Can't I just have it like just dangling off the back of the chair or something like that? The chair will probably collapse if I try. Try to wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
That's interesting way to put it. Violating my backside, you say?
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'd be nicer if I had the money to pay him. Do you think you could lend me some? With a negative percentage interest, of course.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge. Can I fold it up and slap someone with it? Like a wad of bills?
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again. Can I see the puppet strings hanging from this thing? Because there definitely are strings attached.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
I need it, but it's not even enough. Like, for a bribe, that's awfully small. Keep it, I'm good.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts then.
Yeah, I know, right? This should cover you for a few days. Well, I mean, I guess if I had beaten her down, but since I decided to be fair with him, his deal was that I get kicked out if I can't pay him 100. 25 won't cut it, not even close.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
Well, it wouldn't be a shame if someone was shot and killed with this thing. And the forensic report shows that it was linked to this gun, which is currently owned by this police detective. That'd be troublesome, wouldn't it?
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Gun sounds intriguing.
Oh God, why didn't you think of this before? Cops have guns. Where's yours?
Oh, this doesn't worry me at all. Who cares if I've lost my gun and the love of my life? And this did occur to me before.
Fuck love. This is your gun. This is serious.
But why are you taking more morale? I knew my gun was missing. What do you think I wanted to reach for when I met in Measurehead?
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right.
Well, I know my character's name now. I remember they used the name Harry in, I want to say, episode 1, and I thought maybe it was a reference to Harry Potter. You know, like, you're a wizard, Harry. But, I guess his name is Harry Dubois.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Look, children aren't going to point into their own mouths. They're going to look down the barrel and pull the trigger.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Oh, this says something about the guns of this era. Gun was a surprise. Chair's killing me. Oh, darn. Kim? Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I like having Kim around.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Alright. Let's take some emotional damage.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry. I'm gonna cry anyway.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down.
Took a lot of emotional damage. 3 hits. And 1 a physical.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Keep sliding on the chair like a jello shot. Maybe it'll stop violating my butt.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
I am having a medical emergency. As Measurehead says, I need to get back to Al Ghul.
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Actually, this chair's uncomfortable. I could use a glass of water. Sit upright.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Get me a glass of water. Make sure it's real water. That will actually heal my HP. Or maybe only heal my HP if I've gone for 2 days without any water.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
What's that container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Kalsund crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
My rhetoric scale is very convinced that's how I do it. I want to talk to you about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you.
Maybe I should have taken the hand out. Desperate situation.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but. A very large but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me.
You mean
You're
your
police
gut?
officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
But you need a police officer to leave unlocked.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
Raises his glass and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Why don't you just open yourself? I'm sure you have plenty of workers.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Oh, when I'm not being violated, yeah.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
Come on, Kim, don't be so hurt about it.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Nah. You know everything, you tell me nothing. Can't really accept this thing with those conditions.
Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, we won't be able to speak like equals about the murder.
So you were tending to speak like equals. Not sure I could do that, you're like twice my size. I should stop making fun of him for that. His size has nothing to do with it. It's that obnoxious expression, the condescending attitude, the bad show of hospitality. I mean, come on, he offered me water, and when I accepted, he wouldn't even give it to me? What is that?
Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do. For your sake, my sake, and for your gun's sake too.
Yes, we both understand what you meant.
This may be the only way, he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later.
Are you gonna ask me how I got in?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
Man my age, what are you implying? I'm at the peak of my abilities.
Yes, yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive.
So he knows how I got in.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone.
I'm just imagining this. You just go up to an old lady minding her own business. She's probably got a cane. She's probably looks a little unsteady. Looks like she could use some help carrying her groceries. And you're just like all like, "Ma'am, how much heat are you packing?" All right.
Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that.
I think I tried
It's just
that.
a matter of time.
Calling
and
out random old lady grandma, I
effort.
mean. Effort. Oh yes, a whole lot of exertion.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Hold on, could you really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Oi, what is this? You work with him, you're going to get it back? I mean, that's clear the game talking, but really? I don't care about my gun, keep it.
I don't care about my gun. I love it, Harry. Wish I could be like that, but I can't. I have a responsibility to this community. I can't have a loaded gun out in the streets.
You just told me it was empty.
The officer is exaggerating. Of course we care about the missing firearm, and we are actively looking for it as well.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition.
I'm gonna
on
leave
hand.
now.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Red and white, not just red. Hammer and sickle and all that. Alright, can't go back there. Considering the kind of character he is, it's kind of fascinating that he uses pallets as stairs and has his office in a shipping container.
Yes?
I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work together better if we have more rapport. There! This is a word I never ever use. Ever.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's
Rapport.
conceptualization
Yeah, I thought it was
skills
something like that.
must be rather rudimentary.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
It's the notebook that's talking to him, just like how the books talk to me.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Why would I put him down for this? Glasses are cool. They just kind of trigger my OCD somehow. Like, I can't stop pushing them up on my face or trying to rub them clean. Which is why I've gone for a long time without them. Yeah, no I don't. Glasses are cool, I guess.
Are they? They're mostly just cumbersome.
Ah, so he actually needs them. Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
No. Narrows a single eyebrow. Oh, okay.
The lieutenant nods.
I'm not gonna say he doesn't look like other people around here.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Let's talk about the
What do
case.
you want to know?
If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case? That's actually a decent question.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on. Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop off.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
You should tell me now. This seems relevant.
Later.
His voice is
Was
unflinching.
there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
I know literally nothing about it. Only what you told me before.
Do you want me to brief you?
Brief, yes. That sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez.
He's a security
The
guard.
anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Wait, does the briefing say who the victim
A
was?
security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Why didn't we know anything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer.
That's right.
Secret task, huh? Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
This fourth choice, what the heck? So it probably isn't mysterious, but could be sexy. No, it's not sexy! Let's see. White Mountains 40s, what more do you need?
I'm relieved that you agree.
He says, then pauses.
Anyhow, let's get back to the case.
That's
Well,
all I need for
good.
now, thank you. Maybe Leo has some information for me regarding my totally not loaded gun that's totally not being played with by kids.
I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I have some questions for you, that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raised his hand in a welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
A lady! That's spelling.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
Looks up at Leo.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio.
Okay. We're talking about candy bars, right? Yep.
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Lieutenant smiles like the little man.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider.
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are all right.
I actually did want to ask about the Miss Buford.
Yes. I'm like Mr. Actually,
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
There we go. The lieutenant looks up at
a
Leo.
real pretty
Right.
lady, but I can't listen to the radio
Hold on,
all
who's
the
this Miss
time.
Buford you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
Oh no, we're gonna have to talk to a lawyer.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Why not?
Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Buford. Interesting.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, sometimes I feel some of the guys don't...
Where's
really
everyone? Harbor, it's
get-
empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates. Keeping
The scabs from coming in.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't...
So no one is working.
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
Jean-Luc.
But Titus and his boys got into
Must be
some
Measurehead.
drunken trouble, and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Does that mean that you didn't get bullied? You're a friendly personality, but I feel like people would take advantage of that. Or does that mean it was never a fight because it was never even on both sides?
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hard ease.
He looks to you for assistance.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Too rowdy. Leo, what kind of fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days.
So you're telling me he would give me all the details for this case, just like
Now
that?
he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some
Okay, I'm
point.
off. Just cut in with your questions. The text said... What's this? Smells like blood. And what's this? The speaker tower is silent. Tab's not giving me anything new. Come on, game. Get me out of here. Faster. Wait, did I click on that yet? Halogen lights. Nice. Okay. Gonna go and try and check out all of this. Speaking of which, do I have more stuff to internalize? No, just this. And we actually spent quite a bit of time on it. Holy crap. Open door. Leaves. I didn't think I'd be taking so much damage there. Jeez. Hey there, my dude.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He nods solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Any idea who killed the hangman? Also, do you know where my gun is?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
They suddenly refer to him as a mercenary, not a security guard. Harbor is a primary suspicion. In your opinion, are the dock workers involved in the killing?
What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Hold up, what does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Did you kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Cool.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
He takes a sip from his flask. Good talking to you. Gotta run. Let's talk to Measurehead. He refers to that racist down there as a pink blob, but he doesn't refer to his boss as a blob.
Your race descent has only worse.
Nope. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, I was wondering about his accent, but what if it's just a French accent? Maybe I just don't get accents. I mean, I know I don't get accents. Right to work. Right to work.
Right to work. Right to work. Shame on you.
Nope, I'm gonna leave now. All the accents. Talk to racist.
Looking for something?
Found this mug in the trash. Yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
Oh, I got XP for it.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Ah. What was that argument over?
It's about biological determinism. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge, you know. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like...
Get it? Someone has to be the unpopular guy.
I'm not the only one. Look, I've read books.
I've read
The
books!
science of racial theory. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior in design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge.
Yes, I can really tell you're a prime example of superior design.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to
Okay,
be-
and?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
kicks are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquito.
Uh-huh.
It's true. Also,
Da-da-da-da.
you need to realize the dangers of...
Sure, whatever.
Go right ahead. You may be a cop.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense something there, below. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it.
Is that what he thinks about me? Yeah, I did wriggle out of it, I guess. Yeah, I think Kitsuragi would have been happier if I had told him to F off. It's not worth talking to people like that anyway. They're powerless.
A colorful display of the bottles wink at you in the light. There, in that dark green glass.
Alcohol!
All in vain. The great flowing river of warmth. Wine,
Say nothing.
alcohol,
Just take it in.
Bare alcohol. The beauty, the truth, the poetry of it all.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that.
Please, tell me more about these products.
The pale age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong.
What is pale? Wait, the book says something about the pale, and I think one of the ladies out there, like maybe the old lady, maybe it was someone else, says something about the pale.
You know.
You know, uninteresting explanation for that. Okay, but will consuming this stuff do to my body?
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Yes, but like, how does it hurt you? Like, if I punch you right now, you'd be like bruising up. But if I were to catch you with a knife, you'd be bleeding. And yes, these are both hurtful things. These are then not things you should inflict on another person. But they are both treated differently. And they cause different problems. Well, similar problems.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise your intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging your morale.
Sure, but what I mean, Medoro, is that even though bruising is internal bleeding, is there a whole lot you can do about internal bleeding? Especially the mild kind. But like, if someone cut you with a knife, like, you should probably put a band-aid on that, you know, or something a little more thorough, like actual bandages or gauze pad or something like that, so you don't bleed out.
Use medication, like Nosifed and magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of substances. Note: consuming substances can have unforeseen consequences for you.
I love it. I love it. I want to grab something for my side quest, but I don't have the money and I didn't take the handout. Oh my god. Hopefully I don't know. Like, I thought I was avoiding a problem. I didn't want to be indebted to the guy, but
No, Frick only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
The law says we can only sell legal drugs. Go figure. Hey there, my dear.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
I don't remember your name. You need directions.
Since the street signs messed up? No problem.
She's very well composed. Back straight.
Have we met Elysium? Let's see. A couple things we gotta figure out. Let's go here for now. Hey, dude.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Maybe, but I don't have music. Or is the music here and this is what I'm supposed to snatch from? Do you know what's behind the door?
He looks up at you.
Shrugs.
That shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
This is your friends with Manana. Is that true? Isn't this giving too much away?
The mention of mañana gets his
Mañana.
attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again.
What's in that borscht you're making there? Points to a large pot.
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Mercury, right? Sorry, I don't understand you.
Just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer, with his brow arched.
Mercury rising.
Horse need more vodka?
Picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Borscht and vodka? Well, it's definitely not a sausage, but...
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
What do you mean, turn it up? Leave the cooking to you.
The cook gives you a long, inspecting look.
Don't need anything else, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually soup, but it's something closer to soup than sausage, at least. And of course, I put my chakra in a very inconvenient spot. Actually, the words are popping up all over the place. Usually, I have my inventory on the right side and a bunch of these stats. Then I have all these on the left side. Oh, so I need drinkable booze. I don't think soup, if that is indeed what it is, works. Okay, let's see.
Can I help you?
Guard, I saw another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Borscht is indeed soup. I just looked it up. It looks bright red.
Yes.
So about the money, oh.
Yes. Have you got it?
Macho,
A
you
lot.
can.
For the room and broken window? Like what? I was really enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay it back. But I.
Absolutely out of the question.
But I don't. I need a tape to sing karaoke.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire.
Where do I get the music? This dude is still passed out. It's all about money, you know? Yes. Nothing on the front page rings a bell. A bell, strange. Money! God dang it. If I hold down tab, it disappears. I just accidentally moved my game window. Of course, you guys shouldn't see that because it's all being recorded via OBS, although maybe you guys saw it lag for a second. Well, I'm definitely not going to stay here tonight. Let's see. I don't remember what my options were here. Probably nothing important.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in
Fashion
the East
Atelier.
Delta Commerce Center. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
Yeah, indeed. Quite a few details change. The street lights, the shadows. Dude, so I've been looting your pictures from your youth. You want to talk about it?
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
Renee, I found your guard booth.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
I saw a picture there. You were in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Neat. You must have seen something in the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard. And seriously, that's it? The quest was just asking about the picture and that's it?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Wait, why are you on a leave? Must be the strike.
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
So, who was working your shift that night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
I believe you simply because when you weren't there, something happened.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Huh. That's not so bad, even though he seemed like a pretty crappy guy. I should have taken the money. Today it's but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. Oh, right. We could collect some tear now.
Look, officer. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
Got it. Thanks.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway. So might as well keep an eye out.
Well,
Keeps my senses sharp.
Well, by my count, there were 12 people, but you did say that high logic probably makes you second guess some of those details.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops?
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
Real military man.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police? Women? Oh, God.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Let's just shop it.
I know the kind. Gaston here is the same. A weather vane. Never stood up.
Oh, René. If you only knew life beyond confrontations, conflict, and extremities.
Well, sometimes you have to go for the confrontations, but other times you're like, okay, so the guy's probably a little sexist, but he carries himself well enough. Even if he doesn't think highly of women, he doesn't seem, at least to me, like the kind of guy who would go over his way to hurt them. If anything, he probably feels an obligation to be a gentleman. Something that not everyone would appreciate, but still, it's better than going out of his way to actively undermine people. Let's see, let's try again. What is it about this old soldier that makes him stand so proud?
As René turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Let's look straight at the sun. Is it blinding?
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below.
That's not how you spell valiance.
The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
Like the cross?
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I.
Croix de Bravoure and the Setting Sun. Did you get them for...
For bravery.
That's what I was going to say. Bravery. Come on, what are these other choices?
I'm sure. But I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies.
I don't know the reputation of anything. Didn't even recognize the war.
Son, we should never forget our past. Lots of mistakes were made back then. But there were also lessons.
Voice takes on Tudor-like quality.
Forgetting those times means the mistakes were for nothing. That all those people died for nothing.
Whoa. Sounds like you're about to open the gates of...
For doing my
Whoops!
duty in
I
the heat of battle.
accidentally.
For looking my mortality in the eye.
I almost.
When men like
I
this
mean, I
come
actually
here,
clicked
hid
it.
in the bushes and shot themselves.
And yet you're still hanging out with the guy.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
Saved a princeling.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
Alright, time for a quick military lesson. So, to my understanding, even though officers have shiny rank insignia, out in the field, they don't. Like the enlisted, they have just plain black rank insignia. Why? So they don't shine like a gold-plated rifle. Furthermore, you're not supposed to salute in the field. Why? Because if you see someone saluting someone else, another person saluting back, you're like, oh, that's an officer who just got created. Snipe! Oh boy.
He really despises that Drissant fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
Yeah. Thing is, though, uniforms I don't think are always used for camouflage. Camouflage is helpful, but it's a uniform for a reason. It's so that certain laws regarding, say, prisoners of war can come into effect. Because if you're just going to be running around in civilian clothes, or worse yet, wearing your enemy's uniform, a bunch of those laws don't apply to you.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion.
You don't march single file.
The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a bloodbath. Bloodbath, not bloodpath.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw.
Jeez.
Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
Jeez. Okay, then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Got shot in the shoulder, got your knee smashed, and you're just like, F this horse.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Drisson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
I give up. I can't imagine living without my jaw.
He didn't. I hoisted the prick on my back and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up.
Jeez.
Through some miracle, we both survived. And the joyless freak convinced Frisel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
Yeah, dang. I had already forgotten about that. Crawling with a shattered knee, carrying someone else who was pretty much a goner.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Sounds like you're being modest, Renee.
The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drizant.
That is
2 days
ridiculous.
later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Renee's heroics, aren't you?
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like Rene himself. Certainly not to me. How did you find the story to be, officer?
Quite impressive. It's men like Renee who made Revachol great once. Like, putting aside a bunch of other stuff, just, you know, the fact that you have the perseverance to keep going on, that you help someone then in your unit despite him being an utter prick who got you into the mess in the first place.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer.
He
They
points to
don't
the
hand
sunshade
this
medal.
out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot repeatedly, and you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
You know, there's a reason why, at least some people treat military folks with a bit more, I guess, favor. Because this stuff is stressful. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a thing. Getting shot, shooting people. You're never supposed to ask someone if they've ever killed anyone. It's bad stuff.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Thanks for the story, Renee.
There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
And hopefully principles and morals.
Oh yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again.
Officer, was there anything
You
else?
should try to come up with a heroic story of your own.
Nope.
Impress this old soldier.
Nope. Do I have anything that increases drama? Minus drama, right?
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition. Even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups.
Coach Physical Instrument. Does that mean you call me a maggot and a Nancy boy to motivate me?
Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy.
Yes, sir. Forge me to organic steel, coach.
It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete.
Why, wait, why piss?
When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that.
Come on, you should say it's because you have to hydrate a decent amount. And not all of it's gonna come out of sweat. Well, let's do this, coach. I'm with you.
Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo Athleticus.
Sweet. Oh, geez. Oh, never mind. This is just one thing. It takes 2 lines. Okay. Just gotta double check something here. Okay, so the temporary bonus is just gone straight up. And I wonder if I get to keep these abilities even if I don't have the thoughts in. Still don't know what this is. Speed gives 1 psyche? What I'm wondering about is, if I get rid of this, do I still get to retry on that hanging corpse, or should I try it right now? The thought will be lost forever. Oh god. How many skill points do I have? Wait, did I just use my skill point? I just used my skill point. Minus 2 encyclopedia. Oh boy. That's not gonna be good. So you were minding your own business, trying to get some detective work done, when suddenly a voice emerged from within you and told you you're a wuss, a namby-pamby, a sissy, and a limp jellyfish. This voice had zero gender sensitivity and even less empathy for underwhelming athletic performance. Try to purposefully piss it off. See if it teaches you something. Pretend you don't know the difference between a double and a single support phase in the discipline of a hammer throw. It hates that. So the way I think these thoughts work is that when you internalize them, there's a counter that a timer that counts down. Once that counter is out, it seems like the temporary bonus goes away, and then you get some active bonus. So in this case, it lets me redo all endurance checks, and learning cap for endurance increases to 4, which I don't think does anything because my where's my endurance? Huh? I thought the learning cap was how many skill points I could put into it. Oh, I got negative because I took damage. That's interesting. I keep forgetting. What was the one for morale? It was like volition, wasn't it? Fascinating. Great, and I bet after I use this, I'm going to come across something that will restore my morale anyway. Well, let's just use this for now. Still here, huh? Punk. Let's check this one more time.
What do you see?
8 pairs. Huh.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below
My crap is
entirely
compressed.
dedicated
Let's
to that
go.
corpse smell. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's the smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. This delicate machine, ready for picking. Instinctively, you crack your fingers.
They always do that. No, let's step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Inspect
The
boots.
material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Huh. Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals? Or no, the material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
Huh. Lieutenant draws a line of the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Huh. Yes, that's a lot. There's one reason I didn't give you a number and actually gave you a number of years of wages. Ka-ching, baby.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
No, that's not what I meant.
Of course.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
Huh. Because man, afford such expensive hardware. Maybe it was
That's
issued
for
him.
us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Knock on the
A
boot.
small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Oi. No. Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your fingers over
The
the lines.
smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Looks like there's a serial number in the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
Tips the drawing ballpoint of his pen on his tongue. E50, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Where is the rest of it?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
But will he tell us? Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's.
Put the boot on.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
No, let's not try.
The sabatons dangle off the
Back off, look at the
cadaver
course.
slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso
Inspect the
covered in
belt.
tattoo. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
What kind of rope is
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
this? Like in a harbor.
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
Or what if they're trying to incriminate someone else? We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
I feel like it was something else.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
How'd they even get him up
The
there?
noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. They climb up using the kid's ladder.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Makes a pulling motion.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Sure want him to stay there. Polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
Back off, look at
The
the course.
cadaver hangs from the cargo.
Inspect the
An
tattoos.
intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
Oh, mine be marked by.
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Okay. It was hundreds of fading asterisks, then it's probably not a national pattern. What is a microelectronic system?
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite complex enough, is it?
So cybernetics exists here.
It doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer your mind can imagine. The somewhat organic lines remind you of old filament memory units, but not quite. No, you're nowhere near right.
I'm missing something here.
So am I.
Lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange
He
jacket.
wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Does Lieutenant work?
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them to place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then,
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
I think that might be up to Kim. What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
Hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper, no larger than a pack of
The
cigarettes.
glossy-eyed corpse looks by.
Look him in the
His
eye. Does he have
are
any
milky
eyes?
white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there.
I can't believe he even has eyes after a week just sitting out
These
there.
eyes used to be blue, baby blue.
How the frick can you tell?
Dark brown hair grows on his head.
Are
His
there no-
face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Are there no, like, bugs around? You know, the kind that work on, flesh? In the Empire. Tell me, who are you, dead man?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
I guess that's true, but I feel like there's gotta be something that decays stuff out there. Like, even if it's not like regular old flies and maggots. And actually, now that I think about it, like, where do the flies come from, like, after the winter ends? Do they just, like, migrate to another area and make their way back? Is that it? But the fact that in Steel Hotel's eyes are blue. I feel like there's gotta be something worming their way in there.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
Size used to be baby
Good.
blue.
The victim is of Occidental descent. Light brown hair, blue eyes.
Occidental.
I mean white.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Jeez, visual calculus is a crazy skill. Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs, too. If it's face and hands, that means like he was upside down, right? But the thighs, what does that indicate?
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Who is upright? What is... I mean, yes, he's upright. He's hanging from upright position. I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Yep, seems like lynching to me.
Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
Something's coming out of
A
him.
pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Half a kilogram, so just a pound?
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
What the heck it says? Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death?
Maybe.
He doesn't really want to draw not too long. He's beaten up, see the
I
bruises?
do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
Let's check
The
the
cadaver
back, take another
slowly
look.
twists on the cargo belt.
Yeah,
His torso
let's
covered
get
in
down from there.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique
A lot
challenge.
of XP.
I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Let's see, we can saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems
There
dangerous.
has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Yeah, wait, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
My dex rating, and night coordination's only 4. Looks like you went all in into like a motor X then, huh? Buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
Wait, let me try.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
I want to check my gear.
What else can we do?
Let's take another look.
Coach physical instrument.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins.
Leg day, bruh. Ha 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 ha. Oh man, I don't like the fact I have -1 encyclopedia, but let's take my shirt off. Wait, but the shirt gives me 1 physical instrument. Oh boy. It's not very high, but it's something. Okay, let's check to see if there's any way to get our hand-eye coordination up. Oh, visual calculus would have been useful here. Dang it, I gotta remember that. Right, forgot about that. Let's see what we have here. Oh, authority is crap because of this. Pummel the body down from the trees? That just sounds like a bad idea, man. Let's collect some tear. What the heck is tear anyway? Cans? Going around collecting aluminum cans? Plastic tear. Glass tear. And where do I sell it to?
This Post Lavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized.
2
A
bullet
faint
holes in the
sticker
front.
on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Good mail delivery. Good mail delivery box. Pat the box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the coon. And St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there. Post l'Aventurier. Mail collection box. Been there.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even.
Ah ha ha ha! I healed morale.
Then you swallow.
Leave. Oh. I can collect trash now. That's what tear is. Profit? Question mark? It's not much, but it's something. That's oh, this is the
This
viewing
coin
thing.
operated.
Nope. Blessings abound indeed. I'm happy I was nice to the mailbox. Let's go look over here, see if we can find anything. Why is my character walking slowly instead of running? Is it because Kim's in my way? I think it's because I accidentally hit caps lock at some point. More trash! My trash. I feel like they should let me take both these. Come on. There we go. There we go. A big old banana-like boat. Looks like it was recently painted. What is this? Talk to the wall.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Conceptualization. In the dimming light, some things become clear. Oh, that's nice. Still impossible, though.
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinaise. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Trash! Take all. You gonna get taken in, kid. Oh, there's trash over there.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
I'd rather do it while you're awake.
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
I would also do not like large shirtless people just randomly standing behind me.
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
That's correct.
Come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
No, I just think you're stupid as heck. Garden hose won't be of use until snow melts. Balcony with view into the yard. And the hanging. His brain is all over the place. Kind of love it. Kind of alarmed by it. Just a closed door. You look at it suspiciously. And yes, there's loot. Reaction speed. Unfortunately, it's not hand-eye coordination. It is healing, though. Smoker there could be a witness. Talk to him.
There must be another way into the building.
That was so loud. What the heck? Oh, gotta climb from that window, looks like. Run, 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 run. Otto! Directly into it. Whispering into it. But like normal speaking volume. Whispering distance.
Hey! Up here, piggo!
He was using my ear as a megaphone. Directed right into the inside of my brain. Did she spill the paint? Are you sure it's paint? Are you sure it's not? Ketchup. Organic ketchup. You know, I've heard the term painting the town red. I've never looked at what it means. I'm assuming it has to do with something like partying. But considering how many violent video games I play...
leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
Please don't. I don't know how I'd be able to extract them from my skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
I'm glad I have the reaction speed to catch that.
Interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
Fall silent for a moment, contemplating
The
something.
information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
I don't
And
have
this
a
is
badge.
my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, that's right. We gotta report our badge missing now that we know our name.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? I lost badges related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes?
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
How could Ethan, for all I know? I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing. Why are we being so honest?
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
Well, I guess I'll have to see if a badge ends up in the toilet next time I go.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Especially if you're a cop on the job.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Yes, and I actually have some skills, surprisingly.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Then I'll find somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do.
But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
Alright, what can you tell us about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
So I'm trying to piece together what's going on. So Wild Pines is the company. That dude up there, Claire, is working with Wild Pines, right? He's not with the union. And then the Scabs are the strike breakers. Talking about their right to work. I feel like I'm missing something here.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
So the strike is connected to the lynching?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
How are the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again.
It was too easy for me to dismiss it as nonsense. I didn't even think that something terrible could have happened. I was just like, these people are just BS.
And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
You know, this is real late to say this, but it took me forever to put together that the special whirling borscht was just borscht from the whirling in rags.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Everard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That checks out.
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
You would need a rapier. A knife wouldn't dig deep enough into his gut. You sound like you're about to take a rapier, Tob.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
That's Everard, alright.
He's the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
And what about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a...
She hesitates, looking for the right expression. Flustercluck?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol.
Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech,
I missed your message,
the leech
Medora.
always hungers.
Says something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Of course she did.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter.
I like talking to this woman. I don't know if she has any hidden motives, if she's got any lies cooking up in there, but I like the way she carries herself, the way she talks.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
The only thing that bothers me is the fact that she continues to talk to us from her swaying boat instead of stepping onto the dock or invite us on.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
Let's call them strikebreakers. You put them there, right?
If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
That's nice of her.
Of course.
Let's talk about something
How
else.
else can I help?
Do you know anything about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed.
She almost takes
I'm
the photo,
afraid this
but then
is a
stops.
discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Fine, let's return to it later.
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
You seem rich. Can I have some money? That would definitely help me.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Wait, why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian.
My chest
Barely
isn't
able
even
to
clad.
tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you.
A scythe of booze,
Your
I love
hair
that.
sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Yes, I should make my own gosh darn money by now, but the reason I'm asking a rich person is because she might actually have something to spare. Ashamed?
Yes. You're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinel.
Not completely sure what this means. Essence of something.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Volition. Might as well try it. Say it. Can I have some money?
Voila! You're doing it.
Can I have some money, ma'am?
Of course. How much do you need?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I wonder why these are choices. This one is just going to be comical. These, I'm not sure why these are choices, but let's ask.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
Why too small? I guess it makes sense. If you hear someone asking for like a quarter. I remember my father, way back in the day, had someone come up to him at the gas station and ask for like 50 cents or something like that. And he was like, sure, alright. And then he sees the guy immediately go up to someone else to ask for 50 cents. That was a 28% chance too. I'm glad I made it. She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it you can see paper notes arranged like black gills.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Why is it oily? Is it freshly printed or
There
something?
must be about 200 real in that zip bag. Maybe a little less. Plus some change at the bottom.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You bribed me, alright? I'm your low peon. I'm still getting my head wrapped around this whole money concept. You were just helping me out.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
By the way, I talked to Everard Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
You know, I kind of want to say this one, but it needs an extra line of extreme sarcasm attached to the end. But like obvious sarcasm, like this I can't. It doesn't feel sarcastic enough. It's not important if I liked him. I was just doing my job. I really didn't like him though.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something...
Sure, this spelling of worm is closer to the WYRM, which refers to a literal dragon. Although, I've heard someone define that kind of worm as more like a wyvern, like a smaller dragon. One with 2 wings, 2 legs, and no arms. Still, I think of that worm as a full-size dragon.
How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be... gossiping.
I'm pretty sure there's code of conduct rules on military or law enforcement personnel gossiping, and government personnel as well.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun.
Oh. That's so... helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling.
He does not approve.
He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
Mr. Everett says it's almost ready to be found soon.
Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now.
I want to tell her about
Unless,
the door.
Of course, he's lying to you.
Because there's got to be some
Anyway,
reason, and it
was
seems
there
like
anything
she's
else
someone
you've
that he
heard?
wants to take advantage of.
Perhaps he is.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Go on.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
You know, there's one thing weird about taking this place as if it's the Americas, as if it was conquered by the French. The existence of a king. I don't know the nuances between a king and a suzerain, but a king. What are the other Indo-tribes?
Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star. She nods.
That's all for now.
Detective.
And we should probably call it quits, so we're coming up on the 2 hour.
You work hard.
This concerns me. But we're coming up on the 2 hour and 30-minute mark, so I should probably call it quits.
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there. but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do
Look
exactly?
at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Not like I have much choice. It's not like I have like a hoverboard I could fly around everywhere on, or a easy-use teleporter. Yeah, I ride a little.
A little? You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
I mean, yeah, I did take that bribe from the Joyce woman.
Oh yeah, you took that bribe hard. You're a killer.
You could say I took some money from that Manala guy, too.
You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
Guess I made some gills,
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself.
Yes?
Are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
I don't know. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
That's why I mute myself when I sneeze.
Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol?
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here. Total tax duties add up to
100%?
98% of all your money.
I have no idea what's going on with this. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me do a free market type opt-out.
What are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die. Keep it street.
Go away. White morning. Oh, you're not gonna read this for me? And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him, make him smaller, make him less you. Oh, I can zoom out more. That's amazing. I like it. I want to actually like keep my skill points for stuff, but I'm gonna end up using all my thoughts, aren't I? Instant photo of tattoos. Interact.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across. Nope. It almost looks like the electronic
Who
gun.
are you? What's it mean, this
For
tattoo?
you to discover. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Cool. Encyclopedia success. Alright, gotta find a place to call it an episode, even though I still haven't actually looked up here and talked to these people up here, and this feels bad. Okay, well, you know, let's go back to Gart. Spend all our hard-earned money. This person will probably call us a pig again next time we're back here. But it's fine. We're live. We have money. We got a place to stay. It's almost time for the debriefing, but we'll leave that for next time. Jeez, I knew I was going to go for longer episodes, but 2 hours and 30 minutes? Jeez. Anyway, let's go back in, call it quits. Well, after the whole guard thing. Guard! I got the money!
Can I help you?
So about the money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money.
Well?
Here it is. Sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer.
I didn't have a
That's
choice.
all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Opens what?
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
I need a drink. Can you pour me one?
Do I have a shaker?
It's not a shaker.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I smiling?
Because he's not a bartender.
I feel like you gave me a hint previously, but it isn't connecting.
Because I'm not a bar...
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
You don't understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm an alcoholic. I need my fix. You know, that's a good point, Madaro. When my brain was telling me this is probably a bad idea, I assumed it wasn't because of Kim. I assumed that there were going to be like something horrible, like a cop killing scent from his rotting feet after I pull off the boots. I don't even know where to sell stuff, but I should think about that.
Even more reason for me not to serve you, sir. Was there anything else you needed, other than alcohol?
Oh, I don't think I actually read out loud. You don't understand the seriousness of the situation. I'm an alcoholic. I need my fix. Okay, that's great. It's not 2200 yet, so we can't actually do the debriefing, and I sense money. Cha-ching! Yeah, but I need a tape to actually sing. And I can't even interact with this thing. This view's right. You belong here. Yeah, I need to find the tape first, though. Anyway, I think this is a good place to call it quits. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Hope you all had some fun. Stay safe, and maybe I'll see you around. Till then, goodbye.